Hello everybody and welcome to my app Score My Dive for springboard and platform diving for high school, collegiate, really anywhere you're going to do diving. This has a couple different ways to score dives. There's detailed scores or you have quick scores. Detailed scores are going to give you every information about a dive, the diver, the meet, things like dates, scores, judges' scores, DOD, and everything. We'll go into that in just a minute. Let me show you the quick scores first. This section here is for anybody who either doesn't want to or doesn't have the time to do a full detailed meet. They just want a basic score sheet. They're at a meet or whatever, and they just want to put it in the easy way. So you can look at a couple of different sheets that already have been entered, or you can enter a new score sheet. And what this is going to give you is a title, and if you just click the title, and it's going to let you just edit that title. So we'll put in Zoe Rodriguez, Carthage Divorama. Alright, so this is her score sheet for this meet, and she's going to do dive 1, so we're going to click dive 1. And that score is going to be 32. We save it. And now it's at 32, and you can see down in the corner right, it says total 32. As you put in each dive, it's going to save those totals for you. 24. And boom. Now her total score is 56. Say you finished entering all the dives, and you want to email yourself a spreadsheet of this. You can go ahead and do that by just clicking the email icon up in the right top hand corner and choose whatever provider you've got. You can also share the results to Facebook or Twitter or however you want to do that by pressing the little share button there. And then it's got a little bit of a how-to and a delete score sheet. If you decided you didn't want this score sheet here, you can just delete it out and it's no longer going to be in your list. But you can go into old score sheets and still see those. So that's it for the score sheets. Let's go into detailed scores and show you all about this. This is really the meat of the program here. This is where you can enter new divers. You can enter new meets. A little tip here. This will let you pick meets for 3, 5, or 7 judges, but I did get some feedback saying there were some high schools that only sometimes had 2 judges at the meet and wanted the way to do that. I've let you have that way. Essentially, if you want to score a 2-judge meet, you're going to pick 3 judges in this screen. Then when you get to the scoring screens, there's a little option up in the menu, top right-hand corner, or if it's a Samsung device, it's sometimes in the left bottom corner. But anyway, you'll press that menu option and it will give you an option to score a 2-judge meet. We'll go into that when we get to that point, and I'll show you how to do it. I've already got some divers and some meets in here. So say you want to view a diver's information, we'll pick Zoe, and you can edit the diver if you want. You can delete the diver if you want. Or you can go in and look at the diver's history. This will show you all the meets that they've done that you've entered. So we'll look at Carthage Divorama. We have 4 scores in there so far. It gives you the total. It gives you the, it's a 1 meter meet or 1 meter that she did. Click on a dive. That's actually going to give you the dive type, the dive name, the position, and the degree of difficulty, and all the judge scores right there. If you look up in the top right hand corner, you notice you can email yourself a spreadsheet of the meet results, or you can share this page to Facebook or Twitter, Google+, things like that if you want. So we go back, we can look at our other meet. She's only got 1 dive entered there. Same thing, you can click on it, see the results. Alright, and you can do the same thing for meets. So if you choose a meet, we're going to choose Carthage Divorama. Again, you have an edit, you have a delete button, you have your history button, and that's going to show all the divers that have done that meet, regardless of board size, 1 meter, 3 meter, whatever. It's going to show them all right there. So you can click into those divers and kind of get that same information we just showed you. Now another little powerful thing to this app is a reports menu. This will give you a report based on diver or based on meet and based on type of report you want. And you can send this report, and it's basically gonna send it as a spreadsheet to, you know, your Gmail, whatever kind of email you use. You could save it to Google Drive, you can put it in your Dropbox, wherever, and then open that spreadsheet. Diver judge scores by meet, meet results. Meet results will actually give you all the divers that's done that meet. It's going to give you all their scores, all their dives, all their DOD, and all their judge scores included. So that one right there is going to give you everything for a meet. Otherwise, you can break it down to by like individual diver report. Okay, so say we want to enter some meet scores. Here we go. We're going to choose our meet. We're going to choose Carthage Divorama, and we're going to choose our diver. Now, the first time you choose a diver for a meet, you have the options to put in 6 dives, 11 dives, and then what type of board they're on. But once you've done that for a diver, it's already populated for you. You don't have to choose anything. Say you want to remove a diver from that meet, you just click the menu button again, remove the diver from the meet. Say you accidentally gave them the wrong board size or something. You can do that easily. It's pretty easy. You can enter a new diver from here. You can enter a new meet from here. You can check the meet rankings. So this is actually kind of cool. You go into, say, Carthage Divorama 1 meter, and you can see right now Zoe's got 134 points. Amy Pond has 98 points. And you can click on that, and you can see the detailed dive info again. Oh, not too bad, huh? So, go back out of there, and we're going to enter a dive list. Now, there's 2 different ways that you can enter diver information. You can, let's see if we got it here. Okay, so you can, if you see on the bottom, you have enter list or enter scores. So for Amy Pond, we're going to choose 6 dives at 1 meter. And if we enter a list, what that's going to let you do is enter a full dive list before the meet starts. And then you can actually just score the meet off of that pre-populated dive list. Let me tell you, that's the way to do it if you're at a dive meet, because if you've been at one, if you've tried to score it, if you try to write down scores, you know that it's real hard to get the dive type, to get all those judge scores, because sometimes those announcers just whip them out like crazy, or you can barely hear them because they're talking like Charlie Brown. So if you get a dive list first from your diver, do it. Much easier. Otherwise, you can enter the scores as you enter the dives. That works too. The way I usually do that, if I'm stuck doing it that way, if I didn't get a dive list, is I'll actually write everything down first, and then I'll enter it in after the diver's done their dive. So let's enter a dive list for Amy Pond. You basically choose your dive, you choose the dive type, and then you choose a position. Once you choose a position, if you look right above the enter dive button, it'll actually change that dive DOD for you and tell you what the DOD is. And then you just enter the dive right there. Say you accidentally entered the wrong dive. Oops. Well, just click on the dive, and you can edit that dive. There you go. Easy as pie. No, you don't need that. So you just enter all those dive lists. Once you enter the list, then let's go back to somebody who's already got a list. So for Carthage Divorama, Zoe already has a list entered. Once you've entered all the dives, then they'll show up right like that for you, and you can start entering the scores. So remember again, you can click on a dive to edit it if you need to. But when you want to enter the scores, you basically go into the enter score screen and now choose your dive that you're going to enter. We have dive 5 that we need to enter now. So we go to dive 5. You can enter the scores, which means you can enter individual judge scores, or you can just enter the total score. Say you want to keep a little bit of detail, but you don't care about the individual scores, you just want a total score, you can do that too right there. But when you go to enter the judge scores, you basically have a drop down for each score that you're going to enter. There we go. And then once you hit total, it's going to total it. Now in all these score screens, the top right hand button is your menu. You can fail a dive. You don't want to do that. Or you can score that 2-judge meet if you're on a 3-judge dive meet. It's not going to work right now. You can try it, but it's just going to tell you it only works the other way. So we're going to total this, and voila. Dive 5 at the bottom is a 50.5, and it shows the dive and everything. Say you need to change that dive score. Oops, you entered the judges' scores wrong. Just go to that dive again, enter the scores, and you can change those scores, and it'll change everything for you. Once you finish the dive list, it's going to let you know it's done, but you can still edit them if you need to, but it's basically completely finished. Now, say you have a diver who you're going to enter scores for. You didn't get a dive list beforehand. That's where you go to the enter score screen. Now you see we've already entered 3 dives for this diver. You're going to choose a dive category first, reverse dive. You're going to enter the score, and now here's where you're going to choose the actual dive. We'll do a 312C. Now you see that the dive DOD is populated. It populates again anytime you change the values. And up here you also have the option to fail the dive or score the 2-judge dive meet. We're not going to do any of that right now. We're going to change these dive scores, enter in whatever they got. Total that, and boom, dive 4 is now populated, and it totals up your full dive. You can check meet rankings from here. Up here is where you change the dive score for these dives, and you just click that. You choose the dive number of the score you want to change. You've only put 4 dives in, so it's only going to let you change 4 of those dives so far. And then right here, you can fail the dive if you need to. If you needed to fail this dive, you would just enter zeros. If you need to change these scores, you just change them. So that's about it. Let me show you how to do a 3-judge meet, and then I think we're going to be done. Alright, so this one's a... No, wait, that's not it. Hold on. Be patient. Gateway Dive-Off is a 3-judge meet. Zoe Rodriguez has some scores to enter. We're going to choose a dive category and enter scores. Reverse double in straight position. Now, you only have 2 judges at this meet. See, we have 3 judges labeled. You're going to put scores in for the first 2 judges. And then you need to change the last score to 0. You click your menu button and you click Score 2-Judge Dive Meet. And that does all the background calculation and gives you your score. Basically just takes those first two scores, averages them out, rounds them to the full half increment number, and then does all the rest of the dive calculation for you. And that's it. So hopefully you like my app. If you do, you know, rate it in the Google Play Store. That'd be awesome. Let other people know that it works good, or you know, show everybody the app. I'm also working on an iPhone version right now. I know you're all Android people, but if your iPhone friends want it, let them know that the iPhone version is coming soon. If you think that I did something wrong, if you think I should do something else, or you just have a comment about the app, you can always email me right there and let me know what you think. All right, thanks.